Now tonight we are so excited to introduce our first guest. He's been on our show before, and he's here again to lend his expertise. Please welcome celebrity vocal coach James Lugo.
Okay, this is the greatest video in the history of greatest videos ever invented, ever. We have unlocked the key to this thing that we've been trying to do. And I actually got some really great help today from a guy from one of the Native Instruments Facebook groups, Anthony. Unbelievable. So I'll try to make this super quick. We've gone all in. We've got a bunch of pop records to make, and going for the jugular. Went full on Native Instruments. Have the S61 here and the Maschine MK3. I have been trying to figure out how to use this thing in standalone, as far as being a sampler and how to integrate it with Protools. So here's the thing. So a lot of people that use things like MPCs and Maschine, they just create music in their head. They make beats. They do a lot of hip hop and trap, and they're just creating. It's very free. That's not what I do. I have frameworks of songs, predetermined arrangements, tempos, like I'm trying to add in some of this spice into songs. And I've been at this for probably, I would say, a month and a half, and I have figured out how to use Maschine as a plugin, which is really effective. But there's things with the plugin, like the sampling, it's better standalone or with its own software. And here's how I figured out how to do this. A lot of it I just kind of come up within my head. Some of it I remember from the MPC days, and then getting to the 1 yard line, like 2 weeks ago, and could not crack the code of how to make this work, and we got it. And I'm recording this. This is for anybody out there that works within the framework of a DAW, that wants to use things like Maschine or MPC, but use it in song, not in because they work in what's known as an ideas mode, which is blocks, which is kind of more like Ableton. That's not going to work for me. I don't want to work like that. It's cool, but with just the way I work, and I'm not a kid, and I think of music more linear. I figured it out. So here it is. So let's just say this is the song. It's just a 4-bar loop of synth, and I've got 4 of them. So we're just going to imagine, but this could be a 4-minute song with scratch vocals on it, bass, keyboards, whatever. And now I want to pull it. I want to work in Maschine in standalone with the song. So now what I do is I come here and I highlight the whole thing, and I'm going to bounce this out. And I'm going to bounce it out as a wave, and I'm going to call this just test bounce for Maschine from 0. We'll just save this from 0. We figured out the lineup thing. We'll get into that. And we'll just do 44-1. We'll just keep it simple. And for now, we'll just throw it in the song. This is just a temp folder for learning all this stuff. So there it is. Done. Now we can just hide this for now. Now we can open up Maschine, and we work in this song. I don't know if it's called project. It's like song view. This is like arranger view, but then this is, I guess, song view. This is where we work, right? Now we've got our first group. We get up to 8 groups. You guys are going to enjoy this. I wonder if I could just drag it in there. I don't know if that works. Yeah, that looks like it works. No? Sampler? I don't want sampler. No, I didn't like that. Disregard what I just did. That was crazy. None. Let's just delete it. Okay. So, yeah, how do we do this? I can't remember how to internal. I think just bring it in as audio and then maybe just drag this in. And there it is. Okay. And it's 120 is the BPM. So if, well, this is 120. If it was something different, you would work. Now you pull it out to its duration. And it's weird, it loops. It'll just come back on. Maybe it's, let's go. Those are bars. We'll keep going. And then I'll get slicker with this as time goes by. There it is. All right, so there's probably it. Oh, because tempo here. You got it when you do the import, you change it to 120. There it is. Okay, cool. Now let's take a look at this. It's probably right there. Okay, close enough for rock and roll. Right. And now what I can do is from here, I can go into sample mode. I can look at this. I'm on Maschine real quick, and I can line up that first. I can truncate. You guys probably can't see me doing this, but if you guys go to edit mode, and if I go start, I can pull the start in a little bit, truncate it, and apply. And there you go. And now, because when it bounces out from Pro Tools, there's like about maybe, I don't know, 10 sample delay with the process. So we just cut it out, and here it is. So now you've got the click track that's embedded in the track, which I'll probably always embed that in the track just in case I get confused in the midst of it. I can line it up. And if it was 124, all I would do would be just change these to 124, but it's 120. And there it is. So I start from the beginning and I get one bar. Now I'm in standalone and I can now work on Maschine. And this is so cool. So let's say we come to this next group. We'll call it group B, 1B, and we can come here and let's throw that. That's kind of a funky thing, but let's take that. We're going to throw it in here. But now it's coming as audio. And now over here, I can click on the audio and go to sampler and load it. Now it's in as a sampler, right? So now I'm in sample mode, and here it is. Oh, okay. So now what I want to do, and this is going to be one of those things that will get better. It's just a process, of getting used to this. So just kind of bear with me. I'm going to explain what I'm doing kind of as I'm going. Now what you do is you're going to take and you're going to pick what samples from this thing you want to use, and then you're going to put those then on C1. So we have so basically group A would be the track, which is really a scratch track. That would be sample 1. And then if we come to here and add in C1, that would be what we could call chop 1. This took me forever to learn. I'm telling you, this is cool. Watch. So now if I go back to my sampler, I go back to A. So here's my sample, right? Okay. Now what we want to do, oh no, I'm sorry, B is my sample. There you go. So now let's stop that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come to, and I've already truncated it, and that's good for now. I'm going to go slice mode, and I'm going to go, I'll just go with detect, it's fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come to this first. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of good just the way it is. I can obviously go like this and go, do it like that, right? And now I bring it in and we go boom. Now Now I can take that and I go, I'm on B, I go apply, then I go to C, and then I press pad 1, and then I go OK, and now I've got that kick on, and see it's doing this and this. I'm not worried about. Let me just go through this and you'll see. So there you go. Now I go back to my sample. We'll use this as our snare. You hear that? Apply C1, C1, and then I hit the second pad, and then I go OK, and now I've got. Oh, it's not doing it. Hold on. Tell you, every time I do this, something's weird. Hold on. There we go. So there we go. We go apply. Go to C. Okay. Go to C. Wait a second. What's going on? Hold on. I can't believe I'm doing it. Every time. I'm telling you, this is hard. And see, it just keeps giving. Oh, it's this. You'll see. I just. Good Lord, why is this so? Give me a second. Hold on. That's the one I want to use. Now, if I go apply, and then I go to C, and I go there, and I go, oh, single. Okay, maybe it's that. There it is. There it is. You got to hit single. I got to put that in my notes. Don't let me forget. And now we'll go here. We'll just do the one. So we'll come here to end. We'll get rid of that. We'll go. Okay. Now we press that. We hit apply. We go to C. We put that on 3. We hit OK. And now, and there you go. Now, check it out. This is where I was having problems. In this mode, this will not record. What I have to do is get rid of this. It always adds that. Every time you add a chop, it makes it a scene, but we don't want a scene. Now, because we're working linear, right? So if I go back here, I just can get rid of all these old patterns. These are the patterns that seem to be, they're automatically established once you, as you're setting the pad. So there you go. Now I come here and I go create, and now I'm ready to go, kids. Watch this. Okay, wait a second. Am I in? Give me 1 second. Am I in? I think I'm in polyphony. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. But there's. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to think of why. I know it's not polyphony. It's. Let's not worry about it. Anyway, here you go. Oh, here we go. Right, now we go quantize. And now at this point we can actually come here, lock that in the grid, we delete that beginning, and now we've got and then from there I can add hi-hats. Let's see, wait a second, hold on. Let me undo. It's where am is it in sampling? No. Where is it? It's not polyphony, because polyphony's supposed to be 1. It's mono. I think it's mono should be off. Let me try that. Make sure. I'm so bummed. I was so close. Anyway, you get it. And that's how it works. And now I can build the song out linear. And I don't know why this is now doing this, where it's not. They always said polyphony 1. Let me just set polyphony as 4. Maybe this will help just to get through this dang video. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, so Command Shift 0. There you go. Let's try it. Yeah, it's some sort of a group. Hold on. It's a choke group. Maybe it's just, I don't know. I can't think straight. I'm so close, guys. Trust me. Quantization. There you go. And now you come here, you can grab this, and now you've got a straight 4 bars that you could then, if you wanted, copy out, right? And there you go. Boom. Let's see what happens. Paste, was it? Was that weird? No. Anyway, all right, so there you go. That's amazing. So, and that's how you do it. And then you would continue on down the line if you went, let's say group D could be sample 2, right? And now let's see, we'll find some brass. Right? So we'll try that. We'll pull that in there. That comes in as audio. We'll press on the 4D encoder, add it as a sampler. Now it's a sampler. Now I go sample. This I will definitely go to normalize, apply. There you go. Make it a little louder, right? And then we go to then I go to slice mode. Okay. And then I can go detect. So we'll just go detect for right now, right? It goes in there. Yeah, there you go. We'll just grab. This is just function. So. Okay, all right. So let's get this one here. That will be 1. So now we're going to go to, we're on D. Okay, so now we go to E1, which will then be chop 2. And the thing that's funny about this is, like, I'm getting, in a month, I will be like ripping at this thing. Trust me. Let's get rid of that. In a month, I'll be good at this. It's just a matter of, getting used to it. But the thing is, I have soul, so I can do this. All right, so we're going to take this first sample, and there's better ways to chop and faster, and I'll get better at them. I've really just been trying to figure out how to actually get this to record. Now, if I go apply, it's in single, and I go to E, and I go on the 1, and I go, okay, now there's 1. I go back to D. I'll go there, and I'll get rid of that that ending. We'll just make it kind of about the same length. And now we go apply, go to E, right? E, put it on the second one, apply. Now I've got, oh man, I'm telling you, I got it now. Okay, so we're going to grab this. We'll go here. We'll start this here. Oh, we'll go with that guy. We'll go. There's some things. So is that? We'll make that guy the 2. And we'll apply. We'll go to E. Put it on the third one. Hit OK. Go back to D. And then. Well, you know what? We'll just go with 3. So we go back to E, which is our chops, right? Now, how are we going to get this to record? I don't know what key this song's in, so we're just winging it. Just bear with me. If I come here, and this is the thing that I learned from Anthony. What a good dude, man. He has a bunch of babies, too. And if I go there, that, like, drops is a clip. I can just utilize that here as just a little time, just a way to get in. I don't know how it works, but this is it. Who thinks I got it? Okay, so that was incredibly whack, but you get what I'm saying. So now I go shift quantize, and there it is. So let's say we just went, just went like that, and just ring, ring, ring. And so here's like the 4-bar genius. There's the 4-bar clip right there, and then you could, you copy it out. Let's just say, right? Wow, crazy. So now we just listen. I'm so happy. I am so happy because now I have a protocol that works, and at the same time I could take this, right? So, and then from here it's easy. You just export audio, and we'll do all and sound. And then we will not bring in the track. We won't bring in sample 1 or sample 2. We can just bring in the 2 chops. And we're going to change this to our song right here. And we're just going to call it export 1, right? Whatever. Close enough for rock and roll. Now we come to this. And now let's say we come here. And we go import audio. Oh, man. And, oh, man. Here's export 1. Oh, yeah, right. They come in as separate. Hold on. I'm not sure about this. That's strange. Oh, right, because the drums are like individual. Okay, we'll figure it out. But there you go. Now we go back into this mode. Okay, it's kind of weird that it separated out this synth, which doesn't normally do that. I don't know what that's about, but you get the gist of it. Doesn't normally do that. I got to look into that. Yeah, it must be looking at them as individual. I don't know why that's like that. Maybe... Let's try this. Let's try going back here. Let's try exporting our export audio. Don't do chop 1. That's the drums. Oh, maybe it's like the whole group. Yeah, so if I go group on that, and then I just bring out chop 2 as a group, that will then be the brass thing is just like a stereo. That probably is going to work. Let's see. Let's come here. Let's take this, make it inactive, and let's come here. Export to, yeah, there it is. This is probably it. So this is how you could, in theory. Yeah, there it is. So here's the whole brass together. Not bass, brass. Didn't quantize that brass. Anyway, you get the gist of it, so we'll shut the brass off. But there you go. So this is so cool. One thing that was very cool about Anthony, the guy from the Facebook group that helped me, was that he got what I was trying to do. He was like, yeah, you want to get it into your DAW where you feel more agile. And I was like, yeah, because a lot of times it seems like people are trying to help you to do it the Maschine way, and which kind of isn't totally working for me. It probably the longer I'm at it, the better I will get at it. But yeah, it's definitely not optimal. So let me quit out of this. Have I saved this? Yeah, this is test day 2, test day 3. Let's call it day 3. Okay, so get that out of there. But he was like, yeah, you probably, because I told him, I'm obviously an older dude, and it's just easier, I'm down to learn, but it also reached the point where I'm like, I have to work, and it just gets to be, I can only spend so much time hassling through all this. So here is Maschine now as a plugin. So if I was to, let's say, and this I haven't even done yet, looking at it in the same way, and the only thing I can't really do with this, I think, is I can't actually sample. But I could pull samples in probably. Let's see. Let's go to loops. Let's go drum loops. There's only 2 showed as kits, which I don't understand that. But all right. Whoa! Why do these come in so loud? Ah! Who designs this stuff, man? Serum's the same way. I mean, come on, man. Who makes this stuff come in at like Unity? I mean, seriously. Good Lord. Let me just find something reasonable. Alright, whatever. Let me. I'll just go with this. So I don't know. Again, I'm not sure about this, so I'm going to try putting it in right here. Now it's coming in as an audio. So now can I make it a sampler? Yes, I can. It looks like it. And it is a sampler. So now if I look at it here, I've got it as a sampler. See, so I think that I can work the same way. What I can't do is sample audio, like my record player or my guitar or something off my phone. That would have to only be exclusively there. But in this sense, I probably could do just about the same thing here, which would be let's say I come to, give me a second, okay? If I go to edit, right, we'll just leave it. We go to slice. I'll just go detect, just to keep it simple. Here we go. We'll use that as my first kick, right? Now, if I go apply, single, go to B and hit it, there it is on B. This is amazing. And then I go back to my sample. Okay, so let's get the end of this one like that. What was that? Was that 2? Okay, we'll go apply. We'll go to B. We'll put that on the third one. Hit OK. There you go. Go back to A. Oh, there's a... Okay, so now we'll come here. We'll go like this. There's going to be our... So we hit that. We hit apply. We go to B. Right, B. We hit 2. Hit OK. And there it is. So now what I can do, I guess here, is now just go create. And now if I go into record mode, I probably can just record this. Now this is a plugin. Let's see what happens. But do I hit Pro Tools? Let me see if I hit this. Okay, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I probably just hit Pro Tools. Let's see. Oh man. Oh man. I just spit all over my Maschine. And there it is. So now I could, let's just say for argument's sake, go here and go here, and there is 4 bars, and then just probably do the same thing. There it is. And let's say, so now we kick this out. Now we're working in Maschine. We're working in Pro Tools. Right, and I can just shut off the metronome in Maschine and just work off of Pro Tools. And those drums that I imported are all off. So now what you're hearing is Maschine as a plugin. Oh my God. And then that's it. And you can just export that as audio. I mean, it's everything's easy and fast. I didn't, so this is the third Maschine I've bought. And I honestly, I would watch Accurate Beats. If anybody knows the world of kind of Maschine, boom bap, trap, hip hop, Accurate Beats is some dude over, I think he's in like Switzerland, or maybe he's in Spain. He's a European guy. But watching him on Maschine is like, whoa. It's like watching Eddie Van Halen. He's like, he's there. He's got that kind of virtuoso. And then I'm like totally inspired. And then I buy it and I get frustrated. And after about a week, I take it and I return it. This was about 5 years ago. It was originally, I had a studio. And then I bought one about a year ago, an MK3, had it for about 2 months and sold it. Gave up. Just like, forget it. I was just using it in MIDI mode as a beat pad, and my buddy Nate came over and was making beats on the keyboard. I'm like, oh, forget this. Third is the charm. I have worked so hard to get to this. I can't even begin to tell you the hours I've put in to get to this place. And you know what? It was a part of the journey. I watched every tutorial video on the planet. I watched the entire catalog of Groove 3 and ADSR. And I've been watching, the guys that are good at this are obviously accurate. But there's a guy named Jeff something. I can't think of his name, but he's really good. I think I have his name right here. I write all the Jeff Gibbons. I have every protocol for everything I've learned. Jeff Gibbons, Accurate. There's a guy named Blaze. There's another guy that's really cool named AG. And now there's this dude, Anthony. I don't want to give his last name because of anonymity, but he's a cool guy and he helped me. And after tooling through all this, the whole thing was that once I moved the chops over to another group, that took a while to figure that out too, because I was trying to like chop from the sample group, but I didn't know. But then all you got to do is before you start recording, you have to right click and create. You have to give it kind of a target, or I don't know why, but anyway, that's it. In the other mode, you can't work in this mode really, because in creator mode or whatever it's called, right? I don't know what it is, but you can't hear the backing track. So anyway, there it is. So now I would come here, go to export audio, and I would not do group A. I would go all. I would do sounds because I want separate. I want all the drums separate. And then I would come here and put it in my songs, which this one I wouldn't. I would actually put it in this folder. But for now, I'll just put it here, and I'll just call this. I'll just call it 3, just so I know. So this is now group B, all the different sounds, export audio, and then I come here, and I'll go here, audio, go to 3, there it is, copy it. They are. I'll group them, give them a color so we can see them. And we'll turn them down because, good Lord, these things come in hot. Oh, yeah, you're hearing the phasing because you're also hearing Maschine. Anyway, that's it. It's done. Sunday night. I can watch college basketball with my father-in-law and chill out, and tomorrow begins world domination. Shout out to everybody that helped me. A lot of those guys on the Facebook group are great. Those videos of those guys I'd mentioned. Anthony obviously helped me. My buddy Nate Perry. And my clients too, because everybody's been patient. Because I'm like, listen, I wanted all the new records I want next. I want to go somewhere else. And just everybody's been real patient with me. And school is kind of out. And now I'm close enough. Like now, also I know where to find all the information. So if I come here and I close that out, if you go to protocol, these are all the sheets. Like this is everything. Here's Axe Effects. Here's how to convert audio to MIDI. A lot of this stuff now, here's all the complete control, MIDI learn automation, how to use it with Arturia. Here's how to convert all your loops and time, to how to time machine all your loops on Contact, Maschine in MIDI mode. Here's all basic Maschine 2. This is all the stuff off the ADSR video. Projects, they're full songs. Groups are just drum sets. Sounds are the individual sound samples with the effects. That's different than the one shots. The one shots are the raw. This is the one from today. This is the one right here that's today. Yeah, MIDI stuck fix. I figured that out. MIDI stuck in Pro Tools is hardcore, but I figured it out. That was a long journey. A lot of this stuff was a long journey. Arturia, slate settings, whatever. But anyway, that's it. We did it. What a journey, man. I'm so stoked. Yeah, bring it. I can swing those little if I want. I don't know why that makes me so happy. And I was telling Anthony today that what got me on the journey of using it standalone by importing the backing track or importing the little scratch track in grid mode, like from zero, was that's how we used to work with MPCs sometimes. Because, again, a lot of this stuff is geared towards guys, like they talk about like some of the new MPC Live, they have like these battery packs and speakers and headphones. They're like, yeah, you can just go to anywhere and create music. I never do that. And if I did it, it'd be cool, but that's not where my money's at. My money is in completing client music. So everything I do is within a framework. It's all within a like a thing. So I don't just sit down and like make beats. That'd be cool, but I just don't do it. It's not, maybe someday, but that's not what's happening right now. So I had to figure out how to get this thing to integrate into a linear DAW, and I did it with a lot of help, but it's done deal. So there it is, man. So there it is then. That's it. That's it as a plugin. And then this is it from the standalone. Yeah, it's the same. I mean, the standalone's a different drum kit. Standalone sounds cooler. But anything I did in the standalone, I can do in the plugin because the plugin has access to all of the browse function. I don't know how you see it here. I guess you don't see it there, do you? Yeah, I don't know how that works, but probably have to be in like record mode or let me see. Oh yeah, it's playing. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, there's like the presets. So I don't want to start putting it in. But that's it. And I still in there. Unbelievable. Anyway, peace out. Thanks, everyone.